all of you all that are gonna go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm gonna do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm gonna try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker just sparked a firestorm by ranking Angel Reese as a C-tier player, and the reaction from Reese's fanbase was immediate and intense. Social media erupted in defense of Reese, but Parker didn't flinch. Instead, she backed up. Her stance with hard facts that challenged the narrative around Reese's rookie season. While Reese has been widely praised for her impressive streak of double-doubles, Parker pointed out that these numbers haven't translated into wins for her team. The Sky's struggles in the standings raise a fair question. Are these stats truly impactful, or are they empty numbers that don't move the needle when it matters most? A deeper dive into the analytics reveals a harsh reality. Despite her hustle on the boards, Reese's offensive efficiency, defensive rotations, and overall impact on winning possessions have been inconsistent. Parker wasn't dismissing Reese's talent, she was highlighting a larger truth about how certain box score stats can be misleading when viewed in isolation. The controversy isn't about hating on Angel Reese, it's about understanding the difference between highlight stats and game-changing impact. Parker's critique has sparked an important conversation about how we evaluate players in the WNBA, not just by the numbers they post, but by how those numbers influence winning basketball. If you think Candace Parker made a valid point, drop a baby giraffe in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on WNBA debates. Click on the next video on your screen for more breakdowns. Let's get into it.
How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning. If you don't believe me, go ask Teresa Weatherspoon or ask her current head coach, Tyler Marsh, who will soon be joining Teresa in the food stamp line, hoping to get enough Ethiopian breadcrumbs to make it through the winter. Or ask Candace Parker.
A highly respected figure in women's basketball releases a player ranking that instantly ignites a firestorm across the internet. Candace Parker, 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP, assigned Angel Reese to the C tier in her latest rankings. Not in B tier, and certainly not A tier, but down in C, she placed Reese on the same level as an injured Cameron Brink, essentially labeling Reese as a player still in development, rather than the elite star her supporters passionately believe.
I think in terms of B and above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
Parker didn't hold back when explaining why Reese was placed in that tier. She emphasized that to earn a higher ranking, a player needs to demonstrate the ability to lead their team as a primary or secondary scoring option, while Parker did commend Reese's strength on the offensive boards. She firmly stated that Reese currently plays a supporting role, not as a centerpiece capable of driving a team to a championship. Meanwhile, elite players like A'ja Wilson, Napheesa Collier, and Breanna Stewart were positioned in the prestigious S tier, with Caitlin Clark comfortably placed in A tier. Reese, however, was categorized among those still working to establish themselves as top-tier stars.
A'ja Wilson, reigning MVP, couple Defensive Player of the Years, 2 championships. If there was something higher than S, I would definitely put her up there. But Napheesa Collier, she's up there with top tier with A'ja. Just her ability to play on both sides of the ball, pump fake, she's gonna make you choose wrong. I know you guys are gonna say I'm biased because I'm putting all 4s at the S, but the 4s run the league. Don't ever forget that. Breanna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. I don't think there's any debate.
The backlash was immediate and intense. Supporters of Reese flooded social media platforms, accusing Parker of being a critic with hidden agendas. Many fans were outraged that their beloved double-double queen was ranked below players they believed had fewer accolades. The controversy escalated as people demanded answers, perceiving the ranking as a blatant sign of disrespect. When asked to justify her stance, Parker responded with composure and professionalism. During an appearance on the Good Follow podcast, she addressed the uproar by saying, "There's no hate toward Angel Reese. I admire her. I would never attack someone's character or who they are as a person." Parker made it clear that her critique was strictly centered on Reese's current basketball performance and leadership impact, not on personal matters. She stressed that her evaluation was delivered with respect and based on her professional assessment of the game.
This is where it gets tricky. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's gonna raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, she's gotta have a couple more years. So I'll put Kelsey Plum at the A level. Two-time champ, now took on the challenge to be #1 option in LA. I would say KP is definitely in that tier. I would love to put Sabrina Ionescu in that A range. She got that elusive championship. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA, if not the best shooter in the WNBA.
What makes Parker's critique so hard to ignore is her unmatched credibility. This isn't just an opinion from a casual commentator. Parker has earned her voice through years of top-tier play and a deep championship-level understanding of the game. Her insights carry weight because of her proven track record. The player rankings also gave a clear window into Parker's values. Caitlin Clark's placement in the A tier underscored Parker's appreciation for athletes who uplift their entire team and contribute to winning in ways that go beyond personal stats. Clark's transformative impact on the Fever's offensive dynamics perfectly illustrated Parker's definition of a player who can carry a team.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces and they're not happy about it. They're gonna be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegates.
Soon after, basketball experts began voicing their support for Parker's candidate evaluation. They pointed out a crucial distinction that many casual fans tend to overlook: the gap between piling up individual stats and making a true impact on team success. This sparked a powerful and uncomfortable question. What is it that a WNBA legend like Candace Parker sees in Angel Reese's game that her most loyal fans aren't acknowledging? Parker's ranking wasn't driven by personal bias or random judgment. It was grounded in the core basketball principles that differentiate essential role players from true franchise cornerstones.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud butts. Everybody watches the stud butts. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, stud butts stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
Everything shifted during the Minnesota Lynx game. Angel Reese turned the ball over 9 times in a single outing, and suddenly, the concerns that basketball insiders had been quietly discussing all season were on full display. This wasn't merely an off night, it was a glaring moment that revealed the underlying weaknesses in Reese's game, flaws that had been hidden beneath her impressive double-double numbers.
This is from last night's game. Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things. Blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19. But all we keep hearing about, she now has 2 double-double streaks of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year, now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this.
Let's be honest about how that collapse unfolded. Early in the game, the Chicago Sky were holding their own, staying close to Minnesota and keeping the contest competitive. But then, Reese's decision-making started to unravel. She began forcing risky passes, attempting to thread tight windows when safer, simpler options were available. As the game progressed, the turnovers kept stacking up, exposing how quickly her basketball IQ faltered under even moderate defensive pressure from the Lynx.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it!
We love pray-ups. I heard she wanted to dye her hair, and the stylist said, "What color you want?" And she said, "Butter pecan!" Bang! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. Bang! She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. Bang! 9 turnovers is crazy, so it was a no-look poop pass. Oh, no! Bang!
What made the situation even more glaring was the nature of Reese's turnovers. These weren't the result of suffocating defense or elite pressure. Instead, they were unforced errors, careless passes sailing over teammates' heads, traveling, violations caused by sloppy footwork, and fundamental ball handling mistakes that would frustrate even a high school coach. The Lynx didn't need to exert much effort to force these turnovers. Reese was practically gifting them possession.
She got the brace beaten off of her. She had 9 turnovers and was just an awful. If you watch the game, she was awful.
This is where things took a strategic turn. Opposing coaches began dissecting that game footage as if it were a playbook. Recognizing a clear vulnerability, they saw that by applying targeted defensive pressure, they could exploit Reese's tendency to buckle and give away possessions. Teams started crafting specific defensive schemes designed to funnel the ball into Reese's hands in uncomfortable spots, anticipating that turnovers would follow. This wasn't an isolated blunder. The 9-turnover debacle was simply the most glaring instance of a recurring issue that shadowed Reese throughout the season. Game after game, she posted impressive rebounding stats while simultaneously sabotaging her team's offense with avoidable mistakes. The Sky were dropping winnable games because their presumed stars struggled to take care of the basketball.
Anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do, 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 do. Burn! I know it's construction season and all, but who called in the bulldozer? Burn! And it was this play right here when 2K realized, yup, that's our cover athlete. 2K? More like 75K. Pay her more. Burn! Watching her play got me fiending football. Said, oh no, it's picked off again. Burn! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. Hey, I got an order here. It says a hip check.
What made the situation even more frustrating was the response from Chicago's coaching staff. Instead of confronting these glaring issues directly, they continued to downplay them, often pointing to Reese's double-double performances as a sign of progress. They brushed off the turnover problems as typical rookie growing pains. Meanwhile, the losses kept stacking up, as opposing teams repeatedly targeted and exploited Reese's fundamental weaknesses. That 9-turnover game became irrefutable evidence that Reese's impressive stat lines don't necessarily translate to winning basketball. Offensive rebounds are valuable, but if you're surrendering possessions at a high rate, you're ultimately hurting your team's chances of success. The box score may have looked decent, but the Sky still lost that game by 23 points. This leads to an uncomfortable but necessary question. What happens if Angel Reese plays fewer minutes instead of more?
Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
The numbers paint a harsh reality for Angel Reese's reputation. When the Chicago Sky limit her to under 30 minutes per game, their winning percentage rises noticeably compared to games where she logs heavy minutes. This trend directly contradicts the mainstream narrative about Reese's importance to the team. Let's be honest about what the data reveals. The Sky consistently perform better when Reese's time on the floor is reduced. The offense flows more smoothly, teammates find their rhythm, and the team resembles a cohesive, well-balanced unit rather than a disjointed squad revolving around one player's relentless pursuit of rebounds.
Through nearly 2 seasons in the WNBA, the only thing Angel Reese has proven is she can't win games. Angel Reese is not an impact player. She's not someone you can rely on to carry a team to a championship. The Chicago Bravado, they cannot rely on Angel Reese to secure off-season access to the golden toilet. Hell, she can't even get them to the playoffs. Angel Reese does not help your team win, and this is no longer just my opinion. Candace Parker feels the same way.
This trend flies in the face of every narrative suggesting that Reese is vital to Chicago's success. The media continues to push the idea that her double-doubles make her indispensable, but the team's win-loss record tells a very different story. Teams don't necessarily get better when their so-called star logs more minutes. They get better when that star's time on the court is reduced. In games where the Sky limited Reese's minutes or brought her off the bench, the team often responded. With a surge of energy, other players stepped up, playing with greater confidence, no longer having to adjust to Reese's erratic style of play. Ball movement improved, offensive possessions became more efficient, and suddenly Chicago looked like a competitive team capable of going toe-to-toe with quality opponents.
Let's quit pretending like this is some sort of history we're seeing from Angel Reese with these double-doubles. It's not. It's a nice little stat that's pretty irrelevant, doesn't lead to victories, they lost by 20 some odd points last night to the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx pretty much controlled that entire game. Angel Reese was no factor. We need to quit celebrating. Oh, she got a double-double. Well, yeah, they kept her in the fourth quarter when they were down by 20, and she, got a bucket or two and got to double-digit points.
The uncomfortable reality becomes clear when you compare how Sky players perform with Reese on the floor versus when she's on the bench. This raises legitimate concerns about the priorities of Chicago's coaching staff. Are their decisions truly focused on what gives the team the best chance to win? Or are they more concerned with promoting Reese's personal brand and individual accolades? The evidence leans toward the latter, even if it comes at the expense of team success. Data shows that Chicago has secured only one win against a team with a winning record over the past year. Just one. That's hardly a coincidence when your so-called star's presence consistently aligns with a decline in team performance. The Sky have also endured 4 separate losses by 40 points or more, and Reese was a central figure in the majority of those blowout defeats.
Angel Reese had 9 turnovers. Yo, listen, y'all gotta stop with this point forward foolishness, man. Let's take a look, man. Hold on, man. Y'all be wildin'. Y'all be wildin', son. Bruh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta stop. You.
As one analyst put it bluntly, if Angel Reese is your best player, your team is in trouble. The statistics fully support this tough evaluation. Reese's double-doubles lose their value when they don't contribute to actual wins. Numbers that don't lead to victories are just empty figures meant to impress casual fans. One of the biggest illusions in recent WNBA history has been convincing the public that Reese's personal achievements matter. Even as her team continues to lose games they should be winning. The league now stands at a crossroads. One path is centered on real talent that drives team success and builds championship contenders. The other path is fueled by media-driven hype that falls apart under playoff pressure. Angel Reese, unfortunately, symbolizes everything flawed about that second path. While players like Caitlin Clark represent the kind of authentic excellence the WNBA urgently needs to embrace,
Angel Reese has been playing the role of Draymond Green. She is the role player disguised as a superstar. I know she has given herself all of these doofus aliases. To her credit, Angel Reese has marketed herself as a big deal. Double-double Barbie, me-bound Barbie, Bayou Barbie, Bricklayer Barbie.
It doesn't matter what your name is!
But marketing and promotion can only take you so far. Her PR team has done a brilliant job at polishing the turd, but there always comes a point when the polish melts off the turd and you will be expected to perform.
this entire situation has revealed a much larger issue than just one player's shortcomings. It has shown how surface-level statistics can mislead casual fans who don't fully grasp the fundamentals of basketball. Double-doubles may sound impressive, but they lose all significance when they don't contribute to winning. The league attempted to craft a narrative around Reese as a rising superstar, but that storyline simply doesn't align with what's happening on the court night after night. Let's be honest, the WNBA tried to engineer a rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to boost viewership and engagement. The problem is, you can't manufacture greatness. One of these players consistently elevates her teammates and improves her team's chances of winning, while the other has struggled to do the same. The uncomfortable truth is that media-driven hype always collapses under the weight of real competition when the games truly matter.
All right, y'all have to accept the fact this girl is not Alyssa Thomas. Can y'all just stop playing games now? Can y'all just stop playing games now? This girl is not Alyssa Thomas. Y'all, fool on. Y'all been turnover police. She had another 9 turnovers today. 9 turnovers to 3 assists. A minus 19. 9 turnovers to 3 assists. And y'all keep trying to act like this girl's a point forward. Y'all got to stop playing games, man. Stop playing games, bro.
Candace Parker's candid evaluation opened the door for analysts and fans to finally voice what they had been thinking all along. Basketball insiders began openly acknowledging that Reese's impressive stat lines don't necessarily translate into winning basketball. What's truly fascinating about this shift is the clear divide it highlights between teams built around players who elevate everyone around them and teams built around stat collectors whose numbers mask deeper issues. Indiana has centered its strategy around Caitlin Clark's ability to make her teammates better, while Chicago has leaned on Reese's rebounding, even as her turnovers sabotage critical possessions. The outcomes speak volumes. Fans are now more aware than ever, able to differentiate between hollow statistics and genuine game-changing contributions. They understand that a single game with 9 turnovers says far more about a player's real impact than a season full of double-doubles. People are starting to see through the noise, recognizing that the players who lead teams to championships are the ones who prioritize winning over personal accolades. The future of women's basketball shines brightly when it's driven by athletes who uplift their teammates, rise to the occasion under pressure, and care more about hoisting trophies than padding their own stat sheets. The truth has finally come to light. and it's long overdue.
Every once in a while, there will be a role player who presents themselves as a superstar. They're elite pretenders. They're brilliant at convincing people to buy into their world of make-believe.
The Indiana Fever's future looks nothing short of extraordinary, while Chicago continues to wrestle with their Angel Reese dilemma. Caitlin Clark's rookie season has revolutionized the league's popularity and viewership in ways no one anticipated. The WNBA All-Star Game drew nearly 2 million viewers, largely because Clark served as team captain, proving her star power extends far beyond her on-court performances. The excitement surrounding Clark, Hull, Boston, and Mitchell as a potential championship core for 2025 is well-founded. This group possesses the chemistry and talent to make deep playoff runs. Meanwhile, Chicago faces mounting doubts about whether they can achieve sustained success with Reese as their focal point. Basketball fans are now more equipped than ever to recognize authentic, game-changing talent. If you're with Candace Parker on this, drop a baby giraffe in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Click the video on your screen now, and we'll catch you in the next one.